Sabah ada komuniti Rohingya, air susu dibalas dengan tuba. Malaysia selama ini antara negara yang menerima dan membantu komuniti Rohingya atas dasar kemanusiaan. Tapi sekarang muncul pula satu video, guys.
You might know Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand as holiday destinations for you and your family. In Malaysia today, over 2,000 Rohingya children are locked in immigration centres, growing up behind bars instead of classrooms. In Indonesia, hate speech, misinformation, disinformation floods social media.
Muncul satu dakwaan dan kenyataan yang membuatkan ramai masyarakat Malaysia marah dan kecewa.
Cawan air mata tak jadi timbangan. Kalau niat hanya jalan singkat, apa yang kau ambil tak sah, tak lekat, takkan halal walau sebebat. Kalau licik jadi pegangan.
Hey ho, assalamualaikum, apa kabar guys? Selamat datang, selamat bergabung kembali bersama BDT di BDT Crew. Terima kasih kawan-kawan yang sudah klik dan menonton. Hari ini kita bakal bahas satu topik yang sangat menarik guys di Malaysia saat ini. Selepas segala bantuan yang sudah diberikan oleh kerajaan Malaysia kepada komuniti Rohingya, akhirnya tular satu video di mana video ini dakwaan dari seorang wanita Rohingya yang bilang Malaysia, Indonesia, dan Vietnam ini tidak menghargai komuniti Rohingya dan bahkan mereka sangat tersiksa berada di tanah air guys. Jadi ini satu video yang akan kita nonton dan bahas bersama nanti di ujung video. Kawan-kawan yang belum bergabung silakan bergabung, jangan lupa klik like, komen, dan share, aktifkan tombol lonceng supaya tidak ketinggalan video-video yang bakal saya react guys. Dan video ini menarik karena ada satu kenyataan daripada wanita ini yang bilang dia pernah tinggal di Sabah, dan ini sangat-sangat mengejutkan saya bahwa di Sabah ada komuniti Rohingya. Macam mana komuniti ini boleh masuk di Sabah atau Sarawak guys? Nah, coba komen di ruang kolom komentar di bawah. Tanpa buang-buang waktu, mari kita nonton. 1, 2.
Advocacy for the Rohingya and refugee women. How did you come to this point in your life?
I resettled in Australia about 21 years ago, so I was still a child. I was 8 years and a half. I faced the issues of displacement, violence, and so on as a refugee in Malaysia for a very long time. Prior to resettlement, we obviously didn't have the safety and the status of legalization in Malaysia. But after resettlement, we were able to have an identity, a passport, and be with a very small Rohingya community in Sydney. We knew that that freedom we retrieved was something we didn't feel for a very long time. But the freedom that we felt was not complete because we know that our people are not free. There are currently 2.8 million Rohingya dispersed worldwide, and only 1% of the 2.8 million live with peace, identity, and safety. So as I knew that my people are currently struggling, I started working for my community at quite a young age in Sydney, and then eventually stepping onto the international fora to work on structural issues and working on the future of democratization of Burma, Myanmar.
So, can you tell us more about your own personal story? How did your family escape Myanmar?
Sure. So I was born in the 90s in Arakan, known as Rakhine State of Burma, Myanmar. And in the 90s, there were waves of violence against the Rohingya. My parents, alongside their 5 children, I was the youngest one, we had to flee because they did not see a future for their family. We left with absolutely nothing. We walked through the dense jungles of Southeast Asia. We took every transportation possible, every mode of transportation possible. We hid for a very long time. We took the boat and we ended up on a very small island in Sabah, Malaysia. And in Sabah, Malaysia, we lived there. I lived there as a refugee for the first 8 years and a half of my life. And in Malaysia, we thought we would find a safe home. But I spent a very long time there hiding from the police, very afraid of being detained or sent away.
Macam mana guys, dia boleh dari Myanmar boleh Dia boleh berjalan di hutan apa semua dia bilang, lepas tu boleh naik bot sampai ke Sabah. Macam mana dia boleh masuk di Sabah? Lepas tu sangat tidak masuk akal lah apa yang dia cakap ni kalau menurut saya. Lagipun tidak masuk akal macam mana dia boleh masuk di kawasan Sabah kalau dia pakai bot pun daripada Myanmar mau melalui lagi Selat Melaka, selat di Indonesia. Uish, macam mana guys begitu mau masuk lagi, macam tidak logik apa yang dia cakap lain lah. Mungkin dia boleh terbang
I spent a long time hiding in the jungles of
dia
Sabah with some really
bersembunyi di
special
hutan.
people that kept me alive and safe. And in 2003, in October, the Australian government granted my family and I asylum, and we resettled in Australia.
Yeah.
Begitu senang
For your
tak dapat
family,
ke,
are there any challenges
pasport?
that continue even in a new country?
You know, resettlement is something that Rohingya are grateful for. Well, obviously, there are issues that comes with it: new culture, new language. I myself didn't speak English until I got to Australia. The first time I came to Australia, I was placed in a grade 3 class, and late grade 3, where I didn't know how to read, I didn't know how to write. It was the first time I saw school. So integration is definitely something that is quite difficult. But then Rohingya, the community in Sydney, we have our own shops, we have our own businesses. So wherever we are, we want to contribute meaningfully to the community.
So you're currently in Thailand to deliver a keynote speech at the Beyond Borders conference in Chiang Mai. What did you discuss?
I spoke about the issues of Rohingya displacement, and given that the audience were all reporters, I spoke about meaningful reporting without just ticking a box. The Rohingya crisis is still ongoing. We're seeing an influx of refugees fleeing new waves of violence that we've seen in the last few months. We've seen more than 45,000 Rohingya flee and cross the Naf River. So I spoke about the importance of sharing our story, but beyond sharing our story, holding governments accountable that are allowing this to occur, and the need for protection for Rohingya that are in the ASEAN region looking for a new home.
Betul-betul community yang tidak memberi apa
And
ni?
even after we fled Myanmar,
Nah ini guys,
the violence followed us. You might know
ini wanita ini kalau buat kalian yang belum tahu, ini macam dia ni sebenarnya dikenali sebagai Nur Aziza, dan saya mau berterima kasih juga untuk dia ni sebab karena dia punya cara perbicaraan, cara dia berpidato ini Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam bersatu guys untuk menolak Rohingya. Tahniah Nur Aziza untuk keputusan memburukkan negara-negara yang menerima pelarian daripada Myanmar ini. Community, kita panggil community Rohingya dalam perlindungan setiap negara, bahkan dia burukkan lagi. Kalian dengar sendiri apa yang dia bilang guys. Let's go.
Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand as holiday destinations for you and your family. In Malaysia today, over 2,000 Rohingya children are locked in immigration centres,
Karena lock kan di immigration guys.
growing up behind bars instead of classrooms.
Membesar di jail,
In
di
Indonesia,
sel.
hate speech, misinformation,
Di Indonesia
disinformation
lagi dia bilang.
floods social media. People call us dark-skinned animals, ocean trash, monkeys. In Thailand, traffickers sell Rohingya bodies like currency. Men forced into labor. Women disappeared. Entire families lost at sea.
Kebelakangan ini
Daulat tuanku.
rakyat semakin gusar apabila
Tuan
melihat
Paham,
golongan tertentu
yang
yang pada
dipertuan
asalnya diterima atas dasar kemanusiaan kini semakin berani mengemukakan pelbagai tuntutan tidak selari dengan kedudukan mereka di negara ini.
Betul.
Dalam adat Melayu dan ajaran Islam di bumi Pahang ini ataupun Malaysia sekalipun, tetamu sentiasa dimuliakan. Namun tetamu yang mengenal adab akan tahu menghargai budi, menghormati undang-undang dan memahami batas dirinya. Jangan sampai biduk yang ditumpangkan akhirnya mahu menentukan haluan nakhoda Jangan sampai kerana terlalu murah hati, tuan rumah pula dipersoalkan haknya di rumah itu sendiri.
Hai guys, itu satu video yang sangat menarik menjadi perhatian kita semua guys. Jadi di Malaysia, Indonesia dan Vietnam diburukkan di pentas internasional guys. Bayangkan suku ataupun komuniti Rohingya yang satu masa dulu kita bantu, Malaysia memberikan perlindungan untuk komuniti ini. Bahkan komuniti mereka yang menjelekkan Malaysia di kancah internasional guys. Coba kalian bayangkan. Begitu juga yang bakal terjadi saya rasa dengan pemegang IMF 13. Ini cuma pendapat saya pribadi, jadi semua orang bebas untuk berpendapat. Kalau kalian ada pendapat sendiri, coba komen di ruang kolom komentar di bawah guys. Apa pendapat kawan-kawan semua? Apa pendapat rakyat Malaysia yang menonton tentang video ini? Coba komen di ruang kolom komentar di bawah. Saya penasaran dan saya mau tahu apa pendapat kalian tentang video yang satu ini. Coba komen dan sampai kita jumpa di video yang akan datang. Semoga video yang saya bawakan ini bermanfaat dan memberi edukasi serta memberi info yang cukup bagus untuk semua. Terima kasih yang sudah menonton sampai di penamat video ini dan sampai kita ketemu di video yang akan datang. Ingat guys, jangan mudah percaya. Salam gokok. Assalamualaikum. Kita jumpa lagi di video yang seterusnya nanti.